Y'all in a box. They have you in a box. You can save the world, but you are working on things that are too small. Take a step back. It's up to y'all. Y'all have the ability to just step back from what you think culture is today. It's not about any candidate. It's not about red or blue. It's about humanity. Y'all talking about it's 12 years of oxygen left. Talking about we gonna kill the earth. We can't kill the earth. We gonna kill the things that keep us alive on the earth, and the earth gonna survive. It's up to y'all. Y'all the future.
So many young black men, so angry, so constant violence, drugs, because we're trapped. This whole surrounding is like a cage. This whole surrounding is like a cage. You know, you're feeling that you can't get out, and some people don't want to get out. But I want to get out. I don't want to be here feeling like I'm trapped.
Go to one of the great historians that's recognized all over the world, David McRitchie. That's European. And they'll tell you in the history that black and white are legal statuses. They have nothing to do with complexion. And guess what? That's not just here. That's all over the world. Our people here who've been miseducated from European colonialism are the only ones that don't know it. And we keep on arguing the low status and then get mad because people treat us accordingly.
Right. So when the Moors say that they not black, but they will say, I'm a free white person.
Yes,
you're dealing with stats.
Go get law book.
You ain't dealing with the color of the complexion.
Now, come on. If we could get that, if we could get our people away from the emotions of defending a habit that we've been trained to. See, because just like the youth today don't know that a few generations ago, where there was still some consciousness left, if you called an Asiatic or African black, you had a fight because they knew you was classifying them. But our people have been miseducated, and so now they think it's an identity. They're legal statuses. And so our people are looking at them as identities. This is where the clash comes because they lack understanding. I'm for the power of our people. Now, like say for instance, you say you're for black power. You're for our people.
Right. That's what I mean when I say
and
that.
I'm for you for our people. But when you say black power, you just cast them right into the lowest class of society. But it is not for a lack of sincerity, it's a lack of knowing what it means in an engineering perspective. And so a social engineer recognizes it immediately. A person who's just passionately battling for the rights of their people are not looking at it from that perspective. So they're innocent victims of linguistics and law.
You are the master of your reality if you can understand that. You live in a fantasy if you can understand that. Bob Marley said something interesting. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our mind. Have no fear for atomic energy, because none of them can stop the time. Stop here. The entire strength of this colonial system, none of them is above nature. When we look at these groups, we are looking at what they are advertising themselves to us as. This is a propaganda and perception game. These groups, they are designed to deceive. There's no truth in them. So as long as you know nature, God, the universe, or should I say this? God, universe, nature, that's your gun. G-U-N, God, universe, nature. Remember that gun. I'm putting a weapon in your hand. That's the gun you fight back with.
Wow.
Our people now must know the truth and deal with it. Because if we don't deal with it, it's judgment time. And there is some who God really pick, that some must survive. So we are called for the survivors them now. Because it's not a joke. Those who survive know so them have to survive because it is an inborn thing in them. Them know that. So we want to get together now because, we can't wait much longer.
You have allowed your bodies to be your prison. Because the essence of you is not physical. The essence of you is spiritual. But you can't soar into the spiritual regions that your brain would allow you to go to because you have allowed the lusts of the flesh and the appetite of the flesh to imprison your soul and your mind. So your mind is bare. buried in the grave of your flesh. If your mind were free to soar, if your spirit were freed from the confines of your flesh and its lusts and its demands, if you could become the master of your flesh, then you could become the master of the material universe. But you are running from the real war. You want a war with white people. You want a war with Jews or Palestinians. You want a war with every enemy outside of yourself. But you are coward to tackle the biggest fight you will ever have, and that's the struggle with yourself, to master yourself, for in the mastery of yourself is the mastery of everything.
I own my greatness. I pray that you do too. Who's you? You is the creator within you. You have to decide the fact that you are the creator having a human experience. I smiled at God this morning when I watched him brush his teeth. I smiled at God when he was washing his face, because I was looking at me.
That's right.
And each and every one of us is the creator having a human experience. So when you're down, you can't take another breath. When you're tired and you put everything into it that you have, when you don't know what you're going to be able to do next, I look to you. Who is you? You is the creator within that can answer all of your problems.
That's right.
All of your challenges. Can take you to the next level. It's up to you. Own your greatness. Know your greatness. Know where you come from. Don't let anybody make you feel anything less, no matter what. But first, you have to look in the mirror and forgive yourself.
That's right.
If you had a daughter, 10 or 12 years of age, what would you say to her about growing up in this society?
I would say you might encounter many defeats, but you must never be defeated, ever. In fact, it might even be necessary to confront defeat. It might be necessary to get over it, all the way through it, and go on. I would teach her to laugh a lot. Laugh a lot at the silliest things. And be very, very serious. I teach her to love life, I bet you that.
Push the woman back. That is in Islamic society, that is in Jewish culture, that is in Christian culture. A woman can bring you your Savior, but she can't represent him. She can give him birth, but she can't preach. You use women and you level them to a position that you can control them, or I and we as men can control them. But you don't understand, when you oppress a woman, you oppress a nation. When you beat down a woman, you beat down a nation. When you uplift a woman, you uplift yourself and an entire people.
Life is really very beautiful. It's not this ugly thing that we have made of it. And you can appreciate its richness, its depth, its extraordinary loveliness only when you revolt against everything, against tradition, against the present rotten society, so that you as a human being find out for yourself what is true. Not to imitate, but to discover.